What's up, everybody? It's MrAeroHD here. We are back in Forza Horizon 2, and this is Skid Smarter, the series that's going to tell you to how... Wow, that was a really crappy intro. This is the series that I made that try to tell you all the tips and tricks that you may need to know, from basics to experts, on how to make your drifting life easier. So in episode 2, we built this 370Z. We picked it in episode 1. We put the upgrades on it in episode 2, and now it is raining, so that kind of sucks, but... Now, in episode 3, we're going to try to drift it. As I've said in every episode so far, maybe not at the beginning, but every episode so far I've mentioned, this is all subjective information. Don't take my word as a law. This isn't a drift Bible. This is me telling you what's worked for me over the several years that I've been playing the Forza franchise. This also, you know, you might want to do things differently. You may have done something differently. That's completely fine. You go ahead and do you. I'm just trying to tell you what works for me. I'm also just using Forza Horizon 2 as like, because it's the newest game in the series. A lot of what I'm saying here is going to apply to Forza 4. Not so much Forza 5 because it's so vastly different from the two. But Forza 4, Forza Horizon 1, Forza Horizon 2, actually back to Forza 3 and 2, a lot of this information is going to work for every single Forza game. It's minus 5, but 5's just weird. So yeah, so we're in our 370Z here. We tuned it. It's got about 400 horsepower. You know, it's plenty for what we're going to need it for. Unfortunately, it is raining. That's going to make our lives a little bit difficult, not because it's harder to drift in the rain, basically just because of what I'm going to say might not apply exactly the same to the rain. So we're at the airstrip. I'm going to try to go inside this hangar just to see if it helps. But the way I learned, just to get used to holding a slide, was just to do figure eights. A lot of people want you to do this kind of thing so you can feel your car when it finally starts to lose its slide and go into a spin. That's cool. I feel like that just didn't help me at all when I was learning. So what you want to do basically is you can find obstacles if you want, move them in the way, or find things that you can slide around. For me, I'm just going to like mentally make a figure eight. That's really annoying that you're talking right now, but just going to go in a figure eight. Remember, this car is untuned. We're not tuning it. We don't need to tune it. Forza 4, same thing. You don't need to tune your cars. Basically, in any Forza, you can drift without tuning. Minus 5, again, because 5 is weird, but... so we're going to go into this corner. I'm using clutch, but I'm not going to use any clutch techniques in this video, just to make explaining things a little bit easier. So I'm in first gear. I'm just going to kind of mentally make a course here. Just a little figure eight. And then when I'm going to come into the apex of my corner, I'm just going to boot it. So you catch your slide like that, and just keep doing that until you're catching slides every single time. Basically, this is how I learned in Forza Motorsport. Not necessarily doing figure eights, but coming into a corner, taking the corner, and then apex out, just getting on the gas and holding the slide on the way out. So once you get more comfortable with doing that, when you hit your apex, try to ride the whole slide out while staying on your mentally made or your obstacle made figure eight course. So what I'm about to do here would be breaking your course. You don't want to do that. That's basically going off course. We don't want that. We want to stay on the course at all times. So you want to do something more like this, where you're crossing over. Basically, because anybody, like, it's easy to just be able to turn out of your slide like that, but especially when people are learning, I feel like people, I don't feel like, it's just a fact, a lot of people will have a problem with, let's just do this for example, a lot of people will come into their corner, apex, and then just get to this point, and then just keep counter steering until it swings the other way, and then that, and then that, and then they basically come away from their corner swerving everywhere. You don't want that. Doesn't look cool, makes you look like a noob. More or less. So what you want to do is just come in your corner, hit your apex, gas it, bring it over like this. And then once you're comfortable doing that, because you haven't done any transitions yet, you're basically just doing U drifts. So just drifting into U. You're going to come in your corner. I fucked that up, sorry. You're going to come in your corner, get to your apex, gas it. That's your center, and then you want to flick it back. So that's what you want to do. That's step 3 of learning here. So your apex, go there, and then flick it. You don't necessarily have to continue to drift. You can keep trying if you like to. So just, again, I messed it up. Apex through your little straightaway, and then flick it back. All you want to do is get your entry down. You don't really need to do the rest of it. You know, transitioning is basically the most difficult part of learning how to drift. There's several ways to do it. You're going to come into your corner here that I just made up, and then sometimes I like to foot brake just to transfer some weight forward. That helps. Some people, as they're going, use the e-brake. That works too. Again, for me, not as effective as the foot brake. Some people, you know, just go through your corner and then just stay matted. You know, that's, again, it's all up to interpretation. It's this teaching the actual art of drifting is the most difficult part to teach, because so many people do it so many different ways. It's not like racing where there's like one or two fast ways around a corner. You know, there's literally 30 or 40 different ways, unlimited amount of ways somebody could take a corner in a drift track. Look at watch any Formula D, or not Formula D, but any competitive drifting. You know, you see guys get very similar scores, and a lot of their runs look very, very different. They enter different ways, they transition to different places, they transition using different techniques, but at the end of the day, they get, like, visually what looks like to be the same result. It just looks cool. So, at this point, you know, it may have taken you 5 seconds, depending on what game you're playing, because, so, you know, Horizon 1's really easy to slide. If you're playing Forza 4 or 5, this may have taken you, you know, maybe 20-30 minutes, a couple hours. That's fine. It's okay. The only way you're ever going to learn is practice. There's no drift button. There's no surefire tune that's going to make things easy for you. You need to have the core skill set to be able to learn the things that come after that. So again, you want to be at the point now where you are turning in, throttle, bringing your drift over, and then swinging it back into your next corner. If you're doing this on Forza Motorsport, you know, pick a track that has corners close to it that you can transition into, or go onto the airfield or Top Gear, or somewhere where you have a lot of room. So now your final step, middle of the corner, gas, bring it into your next corner, all the way through the corner, gas, bring it through, gas, transition. It doesn't need to be perfect in terms of where your line is. Just try to get it roughly in the same spaces. And keep trying to do this figure eight until you can do it consistently for maybe, I don't know, about a minute. So let's say about 10 passes without spinning or stalling. For those who don't know, a stall is when I'll do something like this. That's a stall. For when I get too much angle or the car over rotates and I have to get out of it. So yeah, perfect. Now, final step. Enter your drift before the corner. Don't do what I just did there. I made a mistake. And then get that down. Once you have your figure eights perfected, you're ready to actually start drifting like a human being. But that will come in the next part. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you want to see anything specific covered on this series, I'm just going to go over the basics first. But for those people who have been drifting longer than, you know, a couple of days, a couple of weeks, you want to learn something, you know, you want to ask me a question that has to do with the game in specific, tuning, stuff like that, please leave in the description. I would be more than happy to jump out of the line here and cover something a bit more advanced in terms of technique. Next episode, we're going to be covering your entries into corners, so stuff like that. You know, I'm just showing it as an example. So your entries into corners. There you're starting from basically a standstill. Here you'll be coming at your corner at speed and entering into it. So we'll be covering how to enter and then how to enter in transition, stuff like that. So thank you guys very much for watching. All right. Thank you guys very much for watching. We're going to be sticking with this car. Again, this car is never going to change unless I tell you guys. Sticking in the airfield here, This is going to be our little beginner course, basically because it is just so gosh darn slow. Not slow, but low speed. Thank you guys. Sorry to make to drone on here, but thank you, and we'll see you later. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I also have a Facebook and a Twitter. For those links, be sure to check out the description box below.